All right, y'all, got a story for New York City residents. Y'all better listen up because it's about to get real. Okay, so this story came from City Lab. I'm not sure when it came out. I think it came out today. So this says New York City releases plan to embrace AI, which is artificial intelligence, and regulate it. As artificial intelligence advances, local governments like New York are planning to set guardrails and goals for the technology's use. So your smart cities are up and running. They got the technology already installed. They got the broadband internet technology laid during the last years of the and so it begins. Like I told you, they were accelerating the agenda, and all these major cities in America are getting ready to become digital concentration camps, open air prisons is what they're going to be. So, listen up if you live in New York City and if you live in a major city in the United States, because uh, this will be coming to a city near you. These are model cities. They are also sacrificial cities. So if you're there, you need to understand what is happening around you, what will be conducting surveillance on you, and you need to um, perhaps do some things to um, try to live more like gray men and gray women. Say that. All right. So it says New York City Mayor Eric Adams, the city's raccoon in chief, unveiled a plan for adopting and regulating artificial intelligence on Monday, highlighting the technology's potential to improve services and processes across our government while acknowledging the risk. And so I feel like, now this is, I'm going to put my 10-4 hat on right now. So I feel like since him and Papa done fell out and he done bashed the Democratic Party about the immigrants and so on and so forth, he has to do another agenda item in order to get back into good graces. He's probably a marked person because he's been very outspoken. He unfortunately has a law enforcement background. He's a second generation immigrant. And so he is or was thought to be a good candidate to carry out the new global agenda, and he jumped time, flipped the script. So he fell out of good graces. So now it looks like he has to do something else to help usher it in because the whole migrant thing is blowing up and he helped it to blow up. And so now he got to do something else. So that's what this is, in my opinion. I included a couple of months ago about those, I think it's A21 cities and the 15-minute cities and the different technologies that were being installed. And so this is an acceleration of those agendas. And as you know, New York City was one of the biggest cities in the world to already have these labs in place, and they've been piloting these AI smart city technologies for quite some time. So the fact that, again, this new AI technology that just rolled out the beginning of this year, you think it's been out for 10 years and it's all new, allegedly. But this is what lets you know that it's always been in place. It's been active for a long time, and these folks have just really been quiet about it. So, anywho, it says the city also announced it is piloting an AI chatbot to answer questions about opening or operating a business through its website, My City Business. New York City agencies have reported using more than 30 tools that fit the city's definition of algorithmic technology, including to match students with schools, to track foodborne illness outbreaks and to analyze crime patterns, which is my concern. We talk about analyzing crime patterns. This predictive programming is going to jam up a lot of Black people. AI is already uh, wrongly accusing Black people with this imaging technology, and I just don't know. This is just not going to be good for African American Black people. We already know what's going to happen because it's been happening. It's only going to be worse now. This technology is programmed by racists. It's programmed to be racist because all of the information used to create these technologies were created through systemic and institutional racism, and biases from the people who programmed it, because we know a lot of us are not in these industries. And so we just got one more thing that's going to be conspiring against us. And so this is why I'm talking about it, so that we can be ready. They're going to sell it to you as help, but it ain't going to be help. As the technology gets more advanced, the implications of algorithmic bias, misinformation, and privacy concerns become more apparent. The city plans to set up policy around new and existing applications. Well, as you use it and it's becoming more biased and racist, and it's spreading misinformation, and you have privacy concerns, why use it? Because you don't have that now, so you're just adding another issue to issues that we already have that you can't solve. So at no time do they ever talk about solving the issues. They just are dismissive about it. It's not enough to encourage agencies to deploy more AI-based solutions. We must also provide them the framework and support to mitigate risk of misuse, inaccuracy, or bias and discrimination, wrote Matthew C. Frazier, the city's chief technology officer, in the plan, which was announced by Adams at City Hall. New York strategy, developed by the Office of Technology and Innovation with the input of city agency representatives and outside technology policy experts, doesn't itself establish any rules and regulations around AI, but lays out a timeline and blueprint for creating them. So you remember I brought you a couple of stories of how the computer guy who knows all things and a lot of other wealthy tech executives, fintech folks have created all these umbrella nonprofit organizations and think tanks and roundtables, and they are actually working to guide local and state policies on AI, smart cities, health regulations, and the digitalization of the new global order that's coming online. So this is what they're talking about without actually saying it. I will include a link to that at the end of this video so that you can um, look at those videos that I did earlier when I talked about how these informal groups that we did not elect are creating policies, regulations, and basically buying off politicians, encouraging them to change laws and policies so that you will have smart cities and regulations in place when they get ready to flip the switch, and you won't even know that they've been done because they'll be discussed informally. They will have already voted on them or put them in place because it's something that they don't need to have public discussion about. And because most people don't go to city council, county council meetings, municipal meetings, so on and so forth, they won't know what happened. So this is why I'm talking about it, because it's going to be happening. It's already happening, and most people are not going to know. So it says it emphasizes the need for education and buy-in from New York constituents and city employees. So they created it, and then they want y'all to believe in it. So I need y'all not to believe in nothing. I know nothing. That's what we're gonna say. I don't know nothing. I don't want to know nothing. You know everything now, but just don't be agreeing with whatever they say. Whatever they tell you is gonna be good. Just know it's a bunch of poo poo. Within the next year, I told you the plan is accelerating. The city plans to start to hold listening sessions with the public and brief city agencies on how and why to use AI in their daily operations. Just say no to that mess. I'm going to need y'all to be loud. If you're in New York, say no. We don't want it. Um, it's a whole host of reasons to not buy into it, to not support it. And I don't care how good they tell you it is not going to be for your benefit. It's only for the benefit of the wealthy. It's only for the benefit of those who want to control you. It's only for the benefit of the United Nations, the World Health Organization, for uh, the corrupt politicians all over the globe and corrupt globalists who want to control everybody and enslave us all. So when you support these types of initiatives, you are supporting not only your own enslavement, but the enslavement for those around the globe, because other nations are going to be looking at this as a model for the cities for their large cities to also control their populations and to monitor them. They're going to sell it as help, but at the end of the day, it's a part of the plan to increase digitalization and to be able to do mass surveillance on everybody. So, nope. Say no, y'all. Trust me, if you don't say no, in about 3 or 4 years, you're going to wish you had her. So, it's not going to happen overnight. But you're going to start seeing next year things change gradually by 2025. You're going to wish you had said no. You'll wish you had stood up. You wish you had paid more attention. You will wish you were free, but you will not be free. Even your thoughts will be policed. So, y'all better learn how to say no. The city has also given itself a year to start work on piloting new AI tools and to create standards for AI contracts. That's the same thing they did with the body cameras in the cameras in the police cars. Now they had everybody hyped up about that, and then they didn't tell y'all that they had created policies to turn those cameras off whenever they got ready to, and that they had crappy data storage policies so that they don't even have any place to store all the data that they create from all the different cameras that they have installed or have given to police. So a lot of police departments don't even use the body cameras anymore, and if they do, they don't save the footage. They only save it for a very short period of time because they don't have the capacity to store all that data for any event somebody recalls the information and want that information. It's going to be the same way with this AI. How you going to record all this stuff? Where you going to store all this data? So you're going to still have the same type of crappy policy. So they're going to be able to do stuff and it's not going to be documented because they're only going to save this information for 3 days or 7 days or 24 hours and then it's erased. So y'all say no to this stuff. I'm telling you, I promise you, I know what I'm talking about. Using algorithmic, tools to guide policy decisions can be tricky, experts say, because the data these algorithms are trained on can reflect biases and produce unfair outcomes, which is what I was talking about earlier, especially when applied to hiring, housing, and policing. AI tools have been found to enable discrimination against women and people of color. No, say black people, African Americans. That's who it discriminates against, black people. And while AI's potential to replace some human labor can help cities contend with staffing shortages, it can also put people out of jobs, which is what I've been talking about. To address these challenges, New York City plans to expand its existing algorithmic reporting rules, and create a risk assessment process for AI tools within the next year. There are few specifics on what those recommendations will look like. The plan lays out considerations like reliability, fairness, bias, accountability, transparency, data privacy, cybersecurity, and sustainability. But it don't say nothing about, uh, sustaining jobs for the residents of the community or of the city. It doesn't talk about protecting the workforce. It doesn't talk about any of those types of things. The quality of life, nothing that really should matter to us as citizens, or to people who um, are in New York. These are the same types of things that they talk about when they are looking at how it's going to benefit them, how it benefits the government. They don't talk about how it's going to benefit, help, or harm the residents of New York City. Lessons learned. The plan builds on New York City's 2021 AI strategy, but the Office of Technology and Innovation says the city is positioned to take more decisive action than it has under past administrations. An automated decision systems task force created in 2018 struggled to make an impact, in part because of the lack of insight into existing automated tech, some members and critics said. Ray Legendre, a spokesperson for the Office of Technology and Innovation, called the task force well-intentioned in a statement, but acknowledged that without being housed within a central technology authority, the task force did not have the tools or visibility required to truly dive into the pressing issues around AI. The city's tech agencies have been consolidated since then under the Office of Technology and Innovation, which Legendre says is better positioned to carry out this work because its centralized governance model and action-oriented approach. The Adams administration's AI action plan has the benefit of building on the previous administration's progress and lessons learned in governing AI, Legendre said. This year's plan calls for the creation of an AI steering committee made up of city government representatives and an advisory network of outside experts. But notice there are no citizens on the darn committee. That is so problematic, especially with these tech people who tend to be isolated. They're introverts, they're loners, they don't like people, so they don't care nothing about this. They just don't care. A lot of them. So, um, again, if you're in New York City, you need to be speaking up about this stuff. You need to be going to your mayor and be like, we don't want this, buddy. Experts involved in shaping the plan expressed optimism, of course they did, about the technology's potential in New York. So much of what holds government up, particularly in the city the size of New York, is the scale at which it needs to operate, said Julie Samuels, the president and executive director of Tech NYC, which represents the city's tech industry. That's what y'all need to be messaging, letting them know how you feel. This is exactly the kind of problem that AI is situated to best help, getting more people, more benefits more quickly, for instance. So you notice they associate this AI with benefits. Think about it in context with the Universal Basic Income Program and all the socialism or the socialist um, things that will come with this transition of governance. Once this system collapses, you won't have a capitalistic economy anymore, and you won't have a democracy anymore. You're going to have tyranny, a technocracy, and you will have socialism. So everybody will get the same thing. So it doesn't matter how hard you work or if you work. Everybody will get the same benefits. You're gonna get the same education. You will get whatever. There's not gonna be no choice unless you're rich pants. And you have the means and resources to do whatever it is that you want to do. So you need to understand what this means. They're setting up these systems. You're helping them set up these systems for this universal basic income. Um, I'm not saying capitalism is a perfect system, a perfect economic system by no means, especially not the way that America runs it. But let me tell you, socialism under communism or tyranny or technocracy or whatever you want to call it, totalitarianism ain't gonna work for you either. So if you know what I know, and if you know about history, and if you go see where this stuff has happened in other places, the transition from like a democracy to something else, uh, y'all better be studying history because it's coming. Stefan Verhulst, a research professor at the New York University and the co-founder of the Gov Lab, says that especially during a budget crunch, leaning on AI offers cities opportunities to make evidence based decisions quickly and with fewer resources. So they're letting you know when people don't work, they don't have money to pay taxes. When people don't have money to pay taxes, they don't have money to keep governments going. They don't have money to pay employees. So those employees are going to be let go, and they're going to rely on this technology to serve the public, which is not going to be good. Among the potential use cases he cited are identifying areas most in the need, affordable housing, which is subsidized housing, and responding to public health emergencies with data. See where they're going with this? Public health emergency, pandemic treaty, uh, climate change, just getting familiar. While New York City has said its AI blueprint is the first like it from a major city, other local leaders are developing their own guardrails and wish lists for technologies like generative AI. Samuels says the city's robust plan shows it understands the urgency of planning for AI's role in local governance. It shows me that they're ready to get rid of people and get this iRobot world going. Woo, we in trouble, y'all. Woo, 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 we in trouble. There was a time when tech could do no wrong, and there was a time where tech could only do wrong, and neither of those is a good starting place for this conversation. Yes, it is. That's what I say. Because anything the dominant society creates ain't been good since I don't know when. So let's just keep it a buck. And I'm glad to see that this report is soundly in the middle of that spectrum, said Samuels. This report recognizes that there's so much opportunity here, but that we have to pay attention to make sure we don't get the rollout wrong. So it's coming whether you want it or not. And the other thing is like we have to look at who funded this this report. So I don't see the report. A link to the report. I'm looking to see if I see a link to the report. So there's no link to the report in this piece. But anyway, if I find it, I'll do a story on it. But I just wanted to let you know that Big Brother is here. Big Brother 2.0 is here, or should I say 3.0, along with Web 3.0, and the digitalization of this nation's future governance structures. Coming to a large city near you, New York apparently is going to be one of the first cities in this nation to participate in this particular pilot. So again, if you are in New York City, you need to be loud and proud with your disapproval. You need to be asking questions. You need to be reading the reports. You need to be making videos. You need to be spreading the tea, baby, because we don't want this. And the only thing that will destroy the plans of the wicked is if we are awakened, We are not silent. We do not give consent to their evil and their wickedness and their willingness to take away our freedom and our privacy. Most High did not intend for us to live like this, and we should not be sitting down on our behinds allowing this type of stuff to happen. So, with that said, y'all, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Please make sure you tag folks you know in New York City so that they will understand what this is about, how this is going to hurt us, in particular, African American Black people, and true Israel. You also have to know that is one of the seats of Satan. And I'm going to just keep it a buck. Y'all know who are there. Y'all know what they want to do. A lot of stuff. New York is associated with a lot of wickedness when it comes to end time prophecy. And so you got to understand the significance of them actually wanting to implement this in New York. If it's done there, it's a wrap. And so you cannot allow that to happen. And I'm not saying we're going to be able to stop everything, but at least if you can thwart some of their plans and not make it so easy for them and expose the dirt that they're doing and how, the true plans, their true intentions, perhaps they will, become afraid, because right now they are very emboldened. And they're emboldened because they think that enough of us are asleep that they can get away with this. So, wake up, people. It's time to get your feet moving, get your fingers tapping, go to some of these meetings, send letters, send emails, do what you got to do. Wake up the people so that they will not fall for this, because once you get it, it's not going back. Not, as you can see from 9/11 to now, nothing ever changes. It just gets worse. It becomes more intrusive. There's more surveillance. There becomes fewer rights, less movement. We're not free to speak anymore. We have to censor what we say and speak code. So nothing is going to get better. Everything is going to get worse. So you can sit back and think you can't do nothing and you don't have to say anything. Y'all better start speaking up in these big cities, because this is coming to a city near you. All right. This is Marley K. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Again, follow me on Rumble and Odyssey in the event that this channel is taken down. Follow me on social media. All the links are in the description. If you'd like to support the channel, there are also links in the description. Thank you if you've already supported. Thank you if you'd like to support and you're unable to, because I realize times are hard for everyone. Keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. Keep that Sabbath, obey those laws, statutes, and commandments as best you can, and make sure you are speaking out and letting brothers and sisters know this crunch time. We almost at a point where you can't reverse this. So wake up, family. All right, love y'all. I'm out.